Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and today some Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and another episode of DNA Saturday, which is the weekly series here on my channel where subscribers send me in DNA bombs. That was the Cray class we're going to be using throughout the entirety of this gameplay. If you guys would like, you can back and pause the video, that way you can get a good look at the class. But keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I will be talking about the class setup throughout this video. We're going to be starting things off here by going to a one-on-one fight here against a Goliath here partway across the map, and the gameplay itself was actually submitted by a guy that goes by the name of Game Boy, which is a really cool name considering I grew up playing the Game Boy Color, primarily just Pokemon. I didn't really play like a wide variety of games on my Game Boy, but I did play a lot of Pokemon, and I did play a lot of Game Boy on the Game Boy Color, then the Game Boy Advance, and what came after the Advance? Was it the SP? Maybe. I think once the SP came out, that's when I started getting out of the whole Game Boy scene. Then I kind of got back into it, I suppose, over the past couple years. But yeah, that aside, we got a game of domination here on the map Comeback, running around with the EM1. One of my favorite weapons in Advanced Warfare, although admittedly I haven't been using it a ton lately, and one of the most unique weapons in Call of Duty history, which is really what I want to talk about throughout this video. So we're going to be talking about the Cray class, but there's not really much to talk about because it's a very bare bones class. It's also kind of poorly put together, but we'll be talking about that here towards the end of the video. But right now I want to talk about Advanced Warfare. I want to talk about Black Ops 3 and how Advanced Warfare is almost going to become obsolete in just a couple of days, right? This is just a theory I have, and I want to gauge your guys' opinions on it in the comment section below. So in 4 days, at the time of this video being recorded, in 4 days, the Black Ops 3 beta is going to be coming out for the PlayStation 4, right? And I have a feeling that once a lot of us actually get our hands on Black Ops 3, that's really going to be like kind of the end for Advanced Warfare. Not the end in that we're never going to play it again, but it's going to be the end of it being the main game. It's going to be the end of it being the newest Call of Duty, because all of our thoughts and all of our attention are really going to be on Black Ops 3. After that beta comes out, after we get our some hands-on experience with the game, we're going to be thinking to ourselves, man, Advanced Warfare is still fun, it's still fine to play, but I cannot wait for Black Ops 3, you know? Like, Advanced Warfare at that point on is just going to feel like a filler game between now and when we actually get Black Ops 3 when it makes its full release in November, right? That's why I feel as though it's going to end up happening, which is kind of sad because there is, of course, a lot of cool things that happened here in Advanced Warfare, and one of my favorite things that happened was the implementation of the EM1. I still think to this day the EM1 is the most unique weapon in Advanced Warfare, and it's one of the most unique weapons in the history of Call of Duty. You're actually going to be noticing a theme for this week's episodes of DNA Saturday. We are going to be using laser weapons because laser weapons are a brand new thing to Call of Duty. We never saw them in the Call of Duty franchise before, and I don't think they're really going to be coming back in Black Ops 3. I could be wrong on that because, of course, there's so much random news and information that comes out about Black Ops 3 that's really hard to follow. Like, there'll be like a random interview with a random website from Germany or something like that one of the developers did where they mentioned something, and then maybe I didn't hear about that, like that piece of news or something like that, but I haven't seen really anything regarding laser weapons or anything like that in Black Ops 3, which to some people is a good thing, to some people it's a bad thing, but I definitely embraced the laser weapons here in Advanced Warfare this year. I thought they were really cool. And I think the EM1, the idea of like taking a heavy weapon which doesn't consume ammo but it can overheat, it has ridiculously tight hip fire, it has like the lowest damage profile in the game, but at the same time having one of the craziest fire rates. I think by default it's like 1200 RPM. Like, it's crazy. Its fire rate is crazy. It's just such a unique weapon and one of my favorite weapons to use, and you guys I'm sure saw that if you've been longtime fans of the channel, because during the first few months of Advanced Warfare's life cycle, like when I started posting videos of it here on my channel, a lot of my gameplays featured the EM1 because it was one of my most used weapons. It was in my top 5 weapons, but I've really kind of stopped using it as of late just because it is so low on damage and it just feels so inconsistent that if you're, you know, constantly going against AK-12s and balls and stuff like that, you're just eventually going to start getting frustrated at the fact that it's really hard to take out those people consistently. But still, it's a very fun weapon to use. I still have a lot of kills with to this day, and I'm kind of sad to see a weapon like that killed. I'm hoping that somehow, I don't know how they would do it because it's always hard to kind of predict this kind of a thing, but I'm hoping somehow in Black Ops 3 we get to see new and innovative weapons like what we saw with the laser weapons here in Advanced Warfare. I'm definitely hoping for that. But before the gameplay actually ends off here, let's go ahead and start talking about that Cray class, which looks like it was really thrown together last second. So the EM1 itself, we have a base stock EM1, no special variants to it whatsoever. We have no attachments on this thing whatsoever. In terms of perks, we have low profile, perk 1. We have blind eye, perk 2. We have blast suppressor, perk 3, which is good, but we also have scavenger on there as well, which obviously isn't a good thing because having scavenger on a weapon that doesn't consume ammo is obviously kind of a waste of a perk. And then, of course, he has has 2 stun grenades, and he has exo overclock. But yes, it's a very bare bone class. It looks like, and I've done this many times myself, so don't take it as a knock or anything. But you know, you start putting together a class right before the game starts, and you don't have really time to optimize the class. You just basically have time to swap in the gun, and then you're like, okay, well, this class is just silly. And actually, right here is where we're going to pick up the DNA bomb as he turns on that guy. But yeah, like, let's say for example, you have like a shotgun class, and you swap in like a sniper rifle, and it just looks silly. Like, why do I have all these weird perks with my sniper rifle, or why do I have scavenger on a weapon that doesn't consume ammo? Like, it's just one of those things that can end up happening. But yeah, if you're looking for kind of like recommendations on attachments for the EM1, I would definitely recommend the heatsink. Obviously, anything that can have a heatsink generally is going to benefit from a heatsink. And of course, I would actually recommend the foregrip on this weapon as well. But aside from that, you can really do no wrong with the attachments on this weapon, but definitely you want to have the heatsink on there, and maybe you want to have a grip and some other stuff on there. Just really depends on your own personal preference. But right there, we actually see the final score: 43 kills and 4 deaths, while picking up the EM1 DNA Bomb with a class that really isn't well put together on a weapon that has no variant and no attachments on there. It was just a lot of great aim, it was a lot of good placement, and it was a lot of well-placed shots, which got our guy Game Boy here the DNA Bomb. So thank you to Mr. Game Boy for submitting this gameplay. I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode of DNA Saturday, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating where you guys feel the video deserves. And if you guys would like to submit your DNA bombs for next week's episode of DNA Saturday, simply watch the video that's on your screen right now. There's an annotation you guys can click, as well as a link to it down in the video description, both of which will open the video up in a brand new tab for you. Go over there, check out that video. It will answer all of your questions that you may have regarding how to submit your stuff for DNA Saturday. If you guys would like to go ahead and check out Game Boy's channel, you can do so by clicking the annotation on your screen or by clicking the link down there in the video description. There is no direct URL I can link you to, just because he does not have 500 subscribers yet, therefore does not have a custom URL. But again, click the annotation on your screen, click the link to him down in the video description, both of which will take you over to his YouTube channel. What does he post over there? Basically short clips of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare or short clips of Battlefield Hardline. A lot of it is just really cool stuff that ends up happening. Like I particularly like his Kobe video, which is actually, is this his most successful video? It might be. He has 5,000 views on it, where he is all the way on top of this skyscraper in Battlefield Hardline. He basically takes like a Molotov, throws it down, it flies all the way to the very bottom of the skyscraper and blows up and kills this guy down there. It's just a really funny little clip, and that's what a lot of his videos actually are, just short little funny clips, while at the same time sometimes having some DNA bombs on there or quad feeds, or just really cool stuff he ends up doing in games. Go ahead and give him a look. There's definitely just, I mean, these videos are like 16 seconds long, 17 seconds long, 11 seconds long, a minute 15 long. Like, they're very short little videos that you can probably watch all of them in a matter of a couple minutes, maybe half an hour or so. So definitely go ahead and give his channel a look and check out some of these clips, because a lot of them are actually pretty epic or pretty funny. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys all enjoyed this week's episode of DNA Saturday, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.